having me back. It's always
Oh.
gracious to be here, but I got a beef with you, man.
What did I do?
Well, I've had a long day. First
Welcome
of
to
all,
the
coming
arena,
to-
fans. This is All Brecker Buzz, your ringside pass to everything WWE. Stay tuned, subscribe, and let's rumble. When Brock Lesnar made his explosive return to WWE to face John Cena, the world expected intensity, but nobody predicted the scale of dominance that would unfold. This wasn't just another main event, and it certainly wasn't a typical hero versus villain storyline. It became one of those legendary nights where the energy in the arena shifts, the audience feels history happening in real time, and the entire wrestling landscape undergoes a seismic change. John Cena, for over 10 years, had been the unwavering face of WWE, the franchise player who pulled off impossible victories and stood tall no matter who challenged him. But on this night, the familiar script was torn apart. Brock Lesnar didn't come back for nostalgia or applause. He returned with purpose, intensity, and a message that the WWE Universe would be talking about for years. This was a new era, and the standards of dominance were about to be rewritten. The build-up that split the wrestling world. For months leading up to this showdown, WWE built John Cena as the immovable force, the franchise figure who could carry the company on his shoulders. Meanwhile, rumors of Lesnar's return stirred anticipation and anxiety. After stepping away from WWE and rising to the top of the UFC heavyweight division, Brock carried an aura of legitimacy that few in wrestling could match. Fans were divided. Some believed Cena would find a way to overcome, as he always did, while others predicted Lesnar's real-world fighting experience would tilt the scales dramatically. But even with all the speculation and excitement, no one expected the level of one-sided dominance that would become the story of the night. The arena shifts as titans. Enter the atmosphere inside the arena was electric, a mix of excitement and unease. John Cena arrived with his trademark confidence, saluting the crowd and stepping into the ring like a man ready to handle business as usual. But when Brock Lesnar's music hit, the entire energy changed in an instant. Lesnar walked to the ring with an intensity that felt different, focused, cold, and unshakable. Even casual fans could sense something unusual was coming. This wasn't the playful powerhouse we sometimes saw in Lesnar's earlier WWE run. This was a competitor shaped by years of real combat sports, a man stepping into the ring with a mission that went beyond entertainment. A start that set the tone. When the bell rang, Lesnar charged forward with the ferocity of a man who already knew the outcome. Within seconds, he had Cena off his feet, launching him into the first of several F5s that would define the match. The crowd erupted, not because they expected a quick finish, but because they realized immediately that this wasn't going to be a back-and-forth contest. Lesnar didn't go for a pin. He stood over Cena, sending a message not just to his opponent but to the entire WWE Universe. The night had only begun, and he was here to make a statement unlike anything fans had seen. A hero forced into humanity. As the minutes ticked by, Cena, normally the embodiment of resilience, found himself overwhelmed. His confidence faded into visible concern as Lesnar methodically maintained control. The match became less about the moves and more about the shift in perception. For the first time, John Cena looked vulnerable, human, and unsure. Each powerful slam from Lesnar wasn't about harming Cena, but about reshaping the narrative of WWE. It was storytelling through pure physical dominance, but executed safely and professionally, showing the world that when Lesnar competes, there is a sense of realism that few can match. A match that became a message. As the match progressed, it became clear that Brock Lesnar wasn't simply trying to win. He was making a point about what dominance looks like. Cena, a top-tier competitor who had weathered decades of threats, was being overwhelmed like never before. The match's drama came not from danger but from disbelief. Fans watching Cena struggle to regain footing, only to be met with Lesnar's unrelenting presence. Commentators struggled to find words that captured the shock, and social media lit up with reactions from fans who couldn't believe the unfolding story. Even longtime critics of Cena's Superman persona found themselves sympathizing with him in a way they hadn't before. The seventh statement. The final moments of the match arrived when Lesnar delivered the seventh and final F5, a finishing action performed with precision and expertise. The audience stood in stunned silence as Lesnar finally went for the pin, securing a victory that felt less like a conclusion and more like a new beginning. There was no celebration, no taunting. Lesnar simply stepped out of the ring and walked away. The simplicity of his exit made the moment even more powerful. Cena was helped by officials, his usual defiant, resolve replaced with exhaustion and the weight of what had just occurred. The visual was symbolic. A top star confronted by a force that shifted everything he thought he knew. A new era takes shape. The aftermath was immediate and far-reaching. The wrestling world buzzed with questions. What did this mean for Cena? How would WWE rebuild its top hero after such a decisive defeat? And what did this mean for future opponents? The match reshaped how audiences viewed both superstars. Cena's vulnerability gave him depth, making him more relatable and more compelling. Brock's victory elevated him into a category rarely occupied in sports entertainment. An athlete who blended showmanship with authenticity, bringing a level of intensity that blurred the line between scripted performance and competitive dominance, changing the industry's storytelling. More than just a memorable match, this moment became a case study in effective storytelling. It proved that unpredictability still matters, that even in an era where fans think they've seen it all, genuine shock can still change everything. Lesnar's performance showed that sometimes the most powerful stories come not from dramatic twists, but from unwavering control. The psychology of the match inspired debate about balance, competition, and how WWE could maintain excitement when one performer appeared untouchable. Yet this unpredictability drew viewers in, raising the stakes for every future Lesnar appearance. A legacy sealed forever. Looking back, the match marked a turning point in both men's careers. Cena evolved, showing more nuance, humility, and layers in his character. Lesnar became a special attraction, a once-in-a-generation competitor whose presence alone created anticipation. The match also highlighted WWE's ability to blend athletic performance with deep emotional investment. It wasn't violent. It was dramatic. It wasn't harmful. It was storytelling at its peak. And that's why it remains unforgettable. The shock that still echoes. Years later, fans still discuss that night, still debate whether it was the right creative decision, still marvel at the scale of storytelling executed between two professionals who knew exactly what they were doing. Whether you loved the outcome or hated it, there's no denying that it redefined dominance in WWE. It set a new standard for what shock value looks like in modern wrestling, and it reminded the world that in this industry, anything can happen, especially when Brock Lesnar is involved.